Are you wondering if you should play Alwa's Awakening? Well, I did, and here's how it went. Alwa's Awakening is a Metroidvania and the first game by indie developer and publisher Eldin Pixels, released in 2017. The first thing you'll notice, and what initially drew me in, is the beautiful pixel art. The artist did a good job of capturing the classic NES style while still making it feel modern. The detailed backgrounds and tasteful combinations of colors make every screen pop with depth and contrast. The music is catchy. I found myself listening to the soundtrack a few times outside of playing the game. Though, much like the NES games that inspired it, the raw sounds did wear on my ears after some time. I adjusted the music volume in the settings to make it more comfortable for prolonged sessions. After a brief opening cutscene, you are free to explore. Movement and jumping feel good, and the game does a good job of teaching you what your limitations are. There are lots of areas you can see, but not reach yet, indicating that you may want to come back here later after learning a new skill. Combat is straightforward, and hitboxes feel right, though a few times I think I got too close to an enemy and took damage, but that may just be a skill issue on my part. As I made my way to the first dungeon, I encountered several NPCs that offered info on what to do. The guidance was helpful, but I felt the dialogue was often telling me too much. For example, there's an NPC in town standing in front of a broken bridge that you can't cross. They tell you which item you need to find, where to find it, and exactly what it does to help you cross the bridge. This is early in the game, and it wasn't even the first time an NPC told me about this same item. Yet another NPC tells you dryly to light a torch to save your progress, which is a mechanic that you've likely already discovered for yourself. In my opinion, it would have been better to obscure the telling of game mechanics in a more creative way, by using lore and better storytelling. I began to worry that the game might be too easy and try to hold my hand the entire time. Luckily, that worry went away upon reaching the first dungeon. You're on your own to explore and face challenges in every direction. The game no longer felt like it was babysitting, and you had to figure it out for yourself. Puzzles feel rewarding to solve, and enemies are incorporated in ways that they complement the puzzles, making each room feel cohesive. I really enjoyed how, once you find your first ability, the game gradually introduces ways to teach you its mechanics. This is how it should be: show, don't tell. The gameplay more than made up for the NPC dialogue. As the game progresses, unlocking new skills grants you access to more areas and more complex puzzles. Again, I think the game introduces these new mechanics at a good pace and makes you think about how your different abilities can synergize and adapt to situations. However, near the end of the game, there's a noticeable change. The difficulty seems to spike at the last dungeon. When you die in Alwa's Awakening, you respawn at the last torch checkpoint you interacted with. There are several rooms between each of these checkpoints. This means that when you encounter a difficult room and inevitably die, you have to backtrack through all the rooms between it and your checkpoint. This felt overly punishing at times, having to redo multiple challenges for the chance at yet another attempt on the one you failed. Sometimes it made exploring feel more of a chore since I was afraid to lose progress. Thankfully, I discovered the game's assist mode in the settings. Assist mode lets you respawn at the beginning of the room you died in, so you can try it again immediately. I consider myself a gamer of average skill, and I'm not sure I would have beat the game without turning on the assist mode. I think the developer made this game difficult in the spirit of the classics that inspired it, and I'm grateful that they took into consideration that not everyone would be able to complete the game as a result. Good thinking on their part. Players of higher skill will find a challenge, and more casual players can still beat the game without much frustration. Overall, I had a good time playing Alwa's Awakening. The art and music are memorable, puzzles and bosses feel rewarding. There are plenty of secrets to discover. So yes, I think you should play it, especially if you're a fan of Metroidvanias and other NES-era games. While it's not without its flaws, there are plenty of quality-of-life features that take the edge off. You can really tell that this game was a labor of love, and after playing it, I look forward to trying the sequel, Alwa's Legacy. Please consider hitting like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.